Good day, sir, and to everyone. Thank you for being here today. We are excited to present our report on Annex 6 of Marine Pollution. But before we dive into details, each of us who worked diligently on this presentation will introduce ourselves and give some ideas and insights about Annex 6.
I'm Midshipman RC Andre B. This is my idea about Annex 6, Prevention of Air Pollution in Ships. This annex specifically addresses air pollution from ships. It was designed to set limits on harmful emissions from ships' exhaust, including sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxides. It entered into force on May 19, 2005.
I am Midshipman Volante Roberto B. Annex 6 limits the sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxide emissions, prohibits ozone-depleting substances, and establishes emissions control areas for stricter control.
Hello everyone, hello sir. I'm Midshipman Evan Jan Kirby. This is my idea about the MARPOL Annex 6. Annex 6 provides requirements for the control of emission from ships such as ozone layer depleting substances, nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxide, and particulate matter, volatile organic compounds, greenhouse gases, and other pollutants.
I'm Midshipman Hebron Constancy, and my insights and ideas about Annex 6 is, I think, more focuses on prevention and of air pollution from ships, especially on emissions coming from ship that can cause degrading air and affect marine ecosystem.
Hi sir, and to my fellow midshipman, I'm Mauricio Gian Michael T. from BSMT2 Alpha, and my idea about MARPOL Annex 6 is an international agreement that sets emission standard for air pollutants from ships to reduce pollution in the marine environment. It aims to minimize air pollution by regulating the emissions of sulfur oxides, nitrogen oxides, and particulate matter from ships.
Good day everyone. I am Midshipman Soljan Leonard A. Today, I will share my short idea about Annex 6. The MARPOL Annex 6 provides requirements for the control of emissions from ships such as ozone-depleting substance, nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, and particular matter, volatile organic compounds, greenhouse gases, and other pollutants.
Good day, I'm Midshipman Arcean TV. This is my presentation about MARPOL Annex 6, Prevention of Air Pollution from Ships. MARPOL Annex 6, officially known as the Regulation of Prevention of Air Pollution from Ships, is a critical component of the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships, or MARPOL. Its primary purpose is to reduce harmful air emission from ships, thereby protecting the environment and human health. This important regulation entered into force on May 19, 2005, and has been instrumental in promoting cleaner shipping practices globally. Key objectives of MARPOL Annex 6. 1. Limit emissions. Annex 6 sets stringent limits on emission of sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxides from ships' exhaust, which are significant contributors to air pollution. 2. Control noxious substances. It's govern the discharge of noxious substances from ships' operation, ensuring the ships minimize their impact on air quality. 3. Establishment of emission control areas. The annex provides criteria and procedures for designating sulfur oxides emission control areas, where stricter controls on emissions apply. Implementation and impact. 1. Entry into force. Annex 6 entered into force on May 19, 2005, making a significant milestone in maritime environment and protection. 2. Ongoing commitment. The regulations are designed to tighten over time, reflecting the ongoing commitment to reducing air pollution from maritime activities. 3. Global impact. MARPOL Annex 6 has been instrumental in promoting cleaner shipping practices globally, contributing to improved air quality and environmental protection. Environmental and health benefits. 1. Air quality and improvement. By limiting emission of sulfur oxides and nitrogen oxides from ships' exhaust, MARPOL 6 significantly contributes to better air quality, especially in coastal areas and ports. 2. Human health protection. Reducing harmful air emission from ships protects human health by decreasing exposure to pollutants that can cause respiratory and cardiovascular issues. Lastly, climate change mitigation. The regulations set forth in Annex 6 play a crucial role in global efforts to combat climate change by reducing the maritime industry contribution to greenhouse gas emissions.
Hi, I am Ishipon Volante and I will discuss the definition of terms. Regulation 12. For the ships under Regulation 12 of MARPOL Annex 6, a list of equipment containing ozone-depleting substances shall be maintained in a case of will have a rechargeable systems containing ozone-depleting substances. An ozone-depleting substances record book shall be maintained on a board. So all ships constructed on or after a year of 2005. Annex 6 prohibits any deliberate emission of ozone-depleting substances. Ozone-depleting substances and equipment containing such as substances shall be delivered to a appropriate reception facilities when removed from a ship. Installation which contain ozone-depleting substances other than hydrochlorofluorocarbons are prohibited. Regulation 13. Nitrogen oxide emissions from diesel engines. Regulation 13 shall apply to HD diesel engine with power output of more than 130 kW, which is installed on the ships constructed on or after 1st of January 2000. Each diesel engine with a power output of more than 130 kW, which undergo a major conversion on or after 1st of January 2000. Each diesel engine with a power output of more than 5,000 kW in a per cylinder displacement at or above 90 liters, which installed on a ship constructed on or after 1st of January 1990 but prior to 1st of January. On the other hand, this regulation does not apply to emergency diesel engine installed in a light boat for any equipment intended to be used solely in the case of emergency. Engine used solely to drive machinery dedicated to exploitation and association offshore pursuit of a seabed mineral resources. The phrase major conversion means a modification on an engine where the engine is replaced by a new engine built on after 1st of January 2000, or any substantial modification made by the engine as described in the NOx Technical Code. And the maximum continuous rating or the engine increased by more than 10% for the purpose substantial modification is defined. Regulation 14. Sulfur oxide emission from ships. 19 May 2005, Annex 6 to MARPOL entered into force. The revised Annex 6 to MARPOL was adopted by IMO on 10 October 2008. The sulfur oxide and particulate matter emissions from ships will be in general be controlled by a setting limit on the sulfur content of marine fuels as follows. Regulation 15. Volatile organic compounds emission from cargo oil tanks of oil tankers. Subject to individual terminal regulation, tankers may have to be equipped with vapor return manifold. Notification of VOC control by a part to the IMO shall be 6 months before enforcement. Tankers can be accept tankers up to 3 years after the date of VOC control enforcement by the terminal. The standard for the design of VOC return manifold and operation is contained in MSC Regulation 16, Emission from Shipboard Incinerators. Incinerators installed after 1st January 2000 to meet regulation and must be certified to meet the specification ng MEPC resolution. Each incinerators must have a manufacturer operation manual. Crew responsible for the incinerator's operation shall be trained and follow the operation manual. Regulation 18. Fuel oil quality. Fuel oil quality shall be blends of hydrocarbons derived from petroleum refining. Fuel oil shall be free from inorganic acid. Fuel oil shall not include any added substance or chemical waste which either jeopardizes the safety of ships, adversely affects the performance of machinery, or is harmful to personnel, or contributes overall to additional air pollution. So that's the end of my discussion about definition of terms of regulation under Annex 6. So I will give the time to Midshipman Hebron to discuss about the application of the Annex 6.
As it was discussed, MARPOL Annex 6 focuses on reducing air pollution from ships, regulating emissions such as sulfur oxide, nitrogen oxide, and particulate matter, while also addressing the use of ozone-depleting substances. Now, we will be proceeding with the application under the general of Chapter 1 as well as the exceptions of Annex 6. According to MARPOL, Annex 6 applies to the ships of 400 gross tonnage and above, with certain exceptions as stipulated in Regulation 3, under the Regulation 3 of MARPOL Annex 6, which are the exception and exemption related to air pollution from ships. The provision do not apply to emissions that are necessary for securing safety of ship and saving life at sea. So basically, it means that provision doesn't apply for securing the safety of ship and for saving life at sea. Additionally, emissions resulting from damage to a ship or its equipment are also exempt, provided all reasonable precautions are taken after the occurrence of the damage or discovery of emission to prevent or minimize further emissions. However, these exemptions does not apply if the owner or master acted with intent to cause damage or acted recklessly, with knowledge that damage would likely result. It means this won't apply if the ship owner or captain intentionally caused harm or acted carelessly, knowing that harm was likely to happen. Particular exceptions would be ships with diesel electric propulsion, turbine propulsion, or hybrid propulsion system. In applying the provision of Regulation 20 and 21 on the Energy Efficiency Design Index, or EEDI requirements. Moreover, under Regulation 19 of Annex 6 of MARPOL, authorities can allow certain ships, those who weighing 400 gross tonnage above, to skip some environmental rules that are included in Regulation 20 and 21. If specific conditions are met, this means that under certain circumstances, this ship might not have to follow the usual requirements aimed at reducing air pollution. The condition for environmental compliance cannot be given to ships that were contracted for construction after January 1, 2017. If there's no contract, it cannot apply to ships whose contracted began after July 1, 2017, or those delivered after July 1, 2019. For more major changes to existing ships, the waiver is only valid for 4 years after the regulation comes into effect. This ensures that newer vessels and significant modifications adhere to latest environmental standards, thereby promoting cleaner shipping practices. Additional information on Regulation 19 outlines this regulation do not apply to vessels that operate solely within the national waters of their flag state. And Regulation 20 and 21 are not applicable to ships using non-conventional propulsion system, except for cruise passenger ship that utilize electric propulsion and LNG carriers. This means that while larger ships are primarily subject to this regulation, there are specific exceptions based on operational areas and type of engine used.
Hello guys, today I will discuss one of the branches of MARPOL Annex 6 Air Pollution Requirements for Control of Emissions from Ships. MARPOL Annex 6 Requirements for Controlling Emissions from Ships or Air Pollution. Air pollution from ships is a significant environmental issue contributing to global greenhouse gas emissions and local air quality problems, particularly in coastal areas. The International Maritime Organization or IMO has addressed this concern through its International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships or MARPOL, specifically in Annex 6, which focuses on the prevention of air pollution from ships. The requirements in Annex 6 aim to reduce pollutants like sulfur oxides, nitrogen oxides, particulate matter, and greenhouse gases from maritime sources. Key emissions control measures under Annex 6. Sulfur oxides SOx emissions control ships are one of the largest sources of sulfur emissions. Annex 6 mandates limits on the sulfur content of marine fuels, with the current global cap set at 0.5% sulfur content as of January 1, 2020. Within designated emissions control areas, the limit is even stricter at 0.1% sulfur content. To protect particularly vulnerable regions, these requirements encourage the use of cleaner, low-sulfur fuels or exhaust gas cleaning system. MARPOL Annex 6 under the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships sets stringent requirements to control air pollution from ships, targeting pollutions like sulfur oxides, nitrogen oxides, particulate matter, and greenhouse gases. Here are the primary requirements. Number 1. Emissions control areas. Designation and coverage stricter standard for SOx, NOx, and PM emissions apply with the ECAS, which includes the Baltic Sea, North Sea, North American coast, and the US Caribbean Sea. Enhanced requirements. Ships operating within ECAS must meet additional emissions limitations to mitigate air pollution in high traffic and sensitive regions. Number 2. Volatile Organic Compounds or VOCs. Control measures. In some areas, regulations apply to tankers, requiring equipment to control VOC emissions during loading and unloading. Specifically, for oil cargoes, VOC management plan. Tankers carrying crude oil must have a VOC management plan. Number 3. Fuel oil quality and documentation. Quality assurance. Ships must use fuel oil that complies with MARPOL standards, with suppliers required to provide a bunker delivery note or BDN to verify compliance. Sampling and verification. Ships must keep on board fuel samples and BDN records, which may be inspected by authorities to ensure compliance with sulfur limits. MARPOL Annex 6 is pivotal in reducing the shipping industry environmental footprint, addressing both air quality and greenhouse gas emissions. These measures support a more sustainable maritime sector by improving air quality and advancing energy efficiency on a global scale. Additionally, Annex 6 at the International Maritime Organization MARPOL Convention establishes rigorous standards for controlling air pollution emissions from ships. It mandates limits on sulfur and nitrogen oxides emission with increasingly stringent requirements over the years to reduce the environmental impact of maritime transportation. To meet these standards, ships must either utilize a exhaust gas cleaning system or switch to low sulfur fuel such as marine gas oil. Compliance with these regulations is crucial for enhancing air quality and sustainability in the maritime industry. At dito na po nagtatapos ang aking pagtalakay sa isang sektor ng MARPOL Annex 6, ang requirements for control of emissions from ships. At sa susunod na pagtatalakay ng isa pang sangay ng MARPOL Annex 6, ay hayaan niyo pong si Midshipman Eben ang magpaliwanag ng isa pang uri ng aplikasyon ng MARPOL Annex 6 Air Pollution. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pakikinig. Yun lamang po. Thank you po.
Good day, sir, and to everyone. I'm Midshipman Eben, and this is my report about my topic, Regulation on Energy Efficiency for Ships and Annex 6. Annex 6 of the MARPOL International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships outline regulation aimed at reducing air pollution from ships, especially focusing on energy efficiency to help reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Since its adoption, several amendments have been introduced to strengthen this regulation in response to growing environmental concern. Ito po yung mga key regulation on energy efficiency and Annex 6. Energy Efficiency Design Index or EEDI, introduced in 2011 through amendments to Annex 6. The EEDI mandates a minimum energy efficiency level per capacity mile for a newly built ship. This index essentially sets design efficiency standard for ship based on their type and size, encouraging innovation and shipbuilding towards more energy efficient vessel. Incremental tightening standards become more stringent over time, requiring newer ships to be more efficient than older ones. This design is to push for technological advancements and environmentally friendly design. Ship Energy Efficiency Management Plan or CMP. All ships must implement a SEEMP, which is a plan tailored to each vessel that outlines specific operational measures for reducing fuel consumption and greenhouse gas emission. SEEMP encourages shipping companies to adopt the best practice and consider new technologies or methods to improve energy efficiency. Lahat ng barko ay may kailangan magpatupad ng SEMP o Ship Energy Efficiency Management Plan na isang plano upang iniangkop para sa bawat barko upang tukuyin ang mga particular na hakbang sa operation ng mga makakatulong sa pagbababa ng konsumo ng gasolina at greenhouse gas emission. Ang SEMP ay humikayat ng mga kumpanya na pagpapadala ng mga gamitin ang mga pagkainam na kasanayan at ikonsiderya bagong teknolohiya o pamamaraan para mapabuti ang kausayan sa enerhiya. Part 1 and Part 2 covers operational measure while Part 2 efficiently tracks the ship energy efficiency by requiring data collection and reporting carbon intensity indicator. Introduced as a part of 2021 amendments, the CII sets required yearly reduction of carbon dioxide intensity based on a vessel performance graded annually A to E based on their efficiency and poor performance rate D or R. Corrective action plans improve their ratings. A performance-based regulatory mechanism in place motivating vessels to continually optimize operation to reduce emission, annual fuel consumption, and emission data collection. Since 2019, ships of 5,000 gross tonnage and above are required to submit annual data on fuel consumption, which is then recorded in the IMO ship fuel oil consumption. This data supports global monitoring of carbon dioxide emission, helps to IMO track progress toward reducing greenhouse gas emission. In 2023, Energy Efficiency Existing Ship. The EEXI is a measure similar to EEDI. Applied to existing ship, it becomes mandatory in 2023. 400 gross tonnage and above with specific technical requirements for energy efficiency improvements on this existing vessel. This encourage retrofits and other efficiency improvements for ship already and operation goals of Annex 6 regulation. The primary objective of this regulation is to support the IMO strategy emission by 40% by 2023 and 2000. This energy efficiency measures in MARPOL Annex 6 make up a key part of the global efforts meets these goals. Ang EEXI o Energy Efficiency Existing Ship Index ay isang panukala na katulad ng EEDI, ngunit para sa mga umiiral na barko, naging mandatoryo ito noong 2023 para sa mga barko na may 400 gross tonnage pataas at may mga particular na technical na kahilingan para sa pagpapabuti ng kausayan sa enerhiya. Sa mga umiiral ng sasakyang pandagat, nilalayon nito mahikayat ang mga pagbabago at iba pang pagpapabuti sa kausayan para sa barkong kasalukuyang ginagamit. Layunin ng regulasyon sa Annex 6, ang pagpangunahing layunin ng mga regulasyong ito ay ang suportahan ang estrahiya ng IMO na bawasan ang greenhouse gas emission ng 40% pagsapit ng 2030 kumpara sa antas ng 2008 at ng 70% pagsapit ng 2050. Ang mga hakbang para sa kausayan sa enerhiya sa MARPOL Annex 6 ay mahalagang bahagi ng pandaigdigang pagsusumikap upang makamit ang mga layuning ito. Challenges and consideration. Implementing this regulation presents challenges, particularly for older ships that requires costly retrofits to meet current standards. Additionally, the industry faces hurdles in the availability of low-emission alternatives and the need for significant technological advancements to achieve future emission targets. Overall, guys, the energy efficiency measure in MARPOL Annex 6 represent a comprehensive approach to reducing environmental impact for international and encouraging sustainable practices across the industry. That's all, everyone. So I will give time to Midshipman Sol to discuss about decarbonization, the last part of our reporting. Thank you, sir.
Good day everyone. Today I will discuss my report about Annex 6 air pollution, and my topic is decarbonization. Decarbonization refers to the process of reducing carbon dioxide, or in short CO2, emissions across various sectors, primarily energy, industry, and transportation. To address climate change, the goal is to limit or eliminate the release of greenhouse gases associated with fossil fuels, which are a major driver or global warming. So, it means daw, ang decarbonization ay nagre-refer para maging process of reducing carbon dioxide and emission across various sectors, primarily energy, industry, and transportation. So, parang nagbibigay address siya sa climate change, and ang main goal daw nito is to limit or eliminate the release of greenhouse gases associated with fossil fuels, which are a major driver of global warming. So, siya raw yung nagre-release of greenhouse gases na nag-associate sa fossil fuels, and siya yung major driver para sa global warming. The 5 key approaches to decarbonization. Number 1, renewable energy. Shifting from fossil fuels to clean energy sources like wind, solar, hydro, and geothermal power. These sources generate electricity without emitting carbon dioxide. So, ang renewable energy daw is nag-shift siya from fossil fuels para malinis yung energy sources like wind, solar, hydro, and geothermal power, and these sources generate electricity without emitting carbon dioxide. So, parang nagsasource daw siya ng generate with electricity, tapos hindi na siya kailangan ng carbon dioxide. So, number 2 is electrification or transitioning to electric system such as electric vehicles, or in short EVs, and electric heating powered by renewable energy instead of combustion engines and gas heating. So, it means guys, nagta-transition daw siya to electric system such as electric vehicles and electric heating powered by renewable energy imbis na combustion engines and gas heating. Number 3, energy efficiency. Improving energy efficiency in buildings, industries, and transportation, which reduce the overall energy demand and related emissions. So, ang energy efficiency raw is nag-i-improve ng energy na magkaroon ng efficiency para sa building or industry and para sa ating mga transportation, and nagre-reduce siya ng overall energy demand and related emissions. Number 4, carbon capture, utilization, and storage. Capturing carbon dioxide emissions from industrial processes and storing it underground or using it in products to prevent it from entering the atmosphere. So, ang carbon capture or utilization and storage daw is nagka-capture siya ng carbon dioxide na nag-i-emission from industrial processes and storing it underground, or ginagamit daw ito sa mga products para i-prevent sa entering ng atmosphere. Number 5, sustainable land use and forestry. Enhancing carbon sinks by protecting and expanding forests which naturally absorb carbon dioxide. So, ang sustainable land use and forestry daw is nag-enhance siya ng carbon sinks na nagpoprotekta sa expanding forests, which naturally inaabsorb siya ng carbon dioxide. The goals and challenges of decarbonization. The primary goal of decarbonization is to achieve net zero emissions where any remaining carbon dioxide emissions are balanced by carbon dioxide removal efforts. Many countries, corporations, and organizations have set targets to reach net zero by 2050 or sooner. Challenges include the high upfront cost, the need for technological advancements, regulatory support, and ensuring energy access and affordability. Decarbonization is a critical element of climate policy and action to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels as outlined in the Paris Agreement. So, bilang pagtatapos ng aming talakayan, napakahalagang i-highlight ang role nito in addressing air pollution from ships, and this annex ay nagbigay ng malinaw na purpose para mag-reduce ng harmful emissions and protect our environment, and sana ay marami kayong natutunan. Thank you for your attention and dedication sa pakikinig sa aming report. Love you guys!